message to those Republicans who are still not supporting Speaker Johnson?
I think they'll support Speaker Johnson. I think we're going to have a great time in Washington. I think we're going to get great support. He's the one that can win right now. People like him. Almost everybody likes him. Others are very good too, but they have 30 or 40 people that don't like him. So that's pretty tough.
Are you calling members on his behalf, sir?
Are you lobbying members?
Well, if necessary, but I think really we're going to have a great time. We're going to get a successful vote. He's a good man. He's a wonderful person, and that's what you need.
Why'd you change your mind on H-1B visas, sir?
So starting very soon here, Congress will have to officially vote on a new Speaker of the House. And according to Politico, at the current moment, Republican Speaker Mike Johnson does not currently have the votes he needs to become Speaker once again. He is facing a current boycott, or at the very least a holdout, by several other Republicans in confirming him as Speaker. And so right now we will say his future is up in the air. I won't say it's in jeopardy, but it's possible that maybe Republicans go with a new Speaker, maybe not. Maybe this is all just kind of negotiation and they're playing hardball politics. But with that said, I want to give you this news here today, as well as address the question of what should Republicans do going from here? Should we try to get a new Speaker? Should we just roll with Mike Johnson? Is this drama all worth it? Is it a good thing for conservatives, a bad thing? What about Trump? We'll address all of that. So first, folks, do us a big favor. Make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe if you are new. You subscribing is the best way to ensure we can keep bringing you these videos. It's also totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do, hit that red button. It goes a long way in ensuring we can keep doing this work. And with that said, okay, so what's going on right now in the Republican Party, especially in the House? Obviously, a lot of conservatives have issues with Mike Johnson. He did a very bad FISA vote. He has not really been all that conservative in spending, despite saying he's going to do it later. He's going to do it later. But right now, according to Politico, with less than 24 hours left until the start of the 119th Congress, Mike Johnson does not have the votes yet to remain Speaker. The Louisiana Republican has been working diligently over the past few days to lock down the 218 votes he needs, even after spending the holidays working the phones and meeting with incoming President-elect Donald Trump. But even the incoming president's repeated endorsement earlier this week does not mean Johnson is guaranteed a victory. Roughly a dozen Republicans are still on the fence, as many of them try to get concessions on the rules or commitments from Johnson on spending. So that is where we currently stand, right? A new Congress is going to be sworn in tomorrow. And right now, according to Politico, at least a dozen Republicans have not decided whether or not they're going to be voting for Johnson. Spoiler alert, the House majority is much, much slimmer than that. So Mike Johnson is basically going to have to win all of the Republican votes he can get. And right now, that is not the situation. Now, personally, I think the most relevant question is going to be, who are the Republicans opposing Mike Johnson for Speaker? Are we talking about the America First or House Freedom Caucus ones? Or are we talking about the neocon rhinos? Because either way, that's going to decide sort of where Mike Johnson moves or what is being demanded of him. So that said, let's keep reading. There are some positive signs for the Speaker. In addition to Trump's restated backing, Johnson has managed to keep his official no votes to one so far, which is Representative Thomas Massie, who is a big-time sort of conservative libertarian. And, he's not been happy with Johnson when it comes to spending and foreign aid and things like that. And one notable holdout, Representative Paul Gosar from Arizona, which I believe is part of the House Freedom Caucus, he's definitely very far in the America First wing, is back in Johnson's camp. Plus, despite multiple conservatives expressing reservations about Johnson, there's not a clear alternative candidate who could get the votes. Johnson's allies apparently believe they're making progress in decreasing the number of Republicans who are outwardly opposed to him retaining the gavel, according to two Republicans familiar with the conversations, viewing them as pretty soft holdouts. But still, the Speaker's allies privately admit he may not be able to win on the first few ballots. However, Mike Johnson is saying, I think we will get it done. And Donald Trump does, at the current moment, seem to hold the same opinion.
Speaker Johnson.
Say what?
What's your message to those Republicans who are still not supporting Speaker Johnson?
I think they'll support Speaker Johnson. I think we're going to have a great time in Washington. I think we're going to get great great support. He's the one that can win right now. People like him. Almost everybody likes him. Others are very good too, but they have 30 or 40 people that don't like him. So that's pretty tough.
Are you calling members on his behalf, sir?
Are you lobbying members?
Well, if necessary, but I think really we're going to have a great time. We're going to get a successful vote. He's a good man. He's a wonderful person, and that's what you need.
Why'd you change your mind on H-1B visas, sir?
So with that said, what exactly is my take on all of this? Like, should we replace Mike Johnson? What is going on at the current moment? Well, let me say first and foremost, okay, number one, unfortunately, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be mad about me for saying this, but I do not think it is a good idea to replace Mike Johnson with another speaker, and I'll tell you why. I know people are going to be up in arms. No, but Mike Johnson sucks. Here's what I want you to understand. That's the best we can currently get is Mike Johnson. The votes do not actually exist in Congress to get another speaker. So as much as you may want someone like Jim Jordan or Byron Donalds, guys, remember what happened in 2023 when we replaced Kevin McCarthy? Those very people tried to run for the speakership. They were blocked by the 10 to 20 to 30 to 40, maybe even more rhinos in the House Republican caucus who would not allow it. Now what's happened in 2024? Did those rhinos go away? Did they get primaried out? No, they're still there. And by the way, our overall House majority just got even smaller than it was in 2022. So that's what people need to understand, number one. As much as it may seem like a good idea, everyone wants to be based, everyone wants to say, no, this speaker sucks, we need someone better. I don't entirely disagree. Right? I think ideally the Republican Party could do a lot better than Mike Johnson, but we also have to operate in reality. I'm not going to be one of these conservative pundits who stands there and just screams like, this is, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. The reality is, okay, the political reality, the House majority is very slim. There's a lot of rhinos. The candidate of your choice, as Donald Trump himself even pointed out in that soundbite that you just heard, probably does not have the votes. Mike Johnson does. And so to me, it seems that the best option would be to just stick with Mike Johnson from now until 2026. He clearly has the endorsement of Trump. He has a good relationship with Trump. That's who Trump wants to be House Speaker at the current moment. Just go forward. And then after the midterms, if we somehow miraculously make gains in the House GOP, which, at this rate, it doesn't seem likely, but if that happens, then we can have a new discussion about who should lead the Republican Party going forward. But again, right now, the votes do not currently exist. So Vince, you're saying that we should just do nothing. So we should just sit back and take Mike Johnson being a rhino? No, at the same time, I think it would appear that what is going on right now is actually a very positive development. Because when I first heard that Mike Johnson did not have the votes to become speaker, my first question is, okay, who are the Republican holdouts? Is it the America First conservatives who are trying to play leverage and hardball with Mike Johnson? Or is it the neocon rhinos? Because that's very big. It seems like, according to Politico, for the most part, the holdouts right now are the more House Freedom Caucus conservative people. Why is that important? Because they're trying to get commitments from Mike Johnson in terms of, hey, you need to rein in spending. Hey, you need to stop voting for so much foreign aid. Hey, you need to rein in the unconstitutional violations of our rights by the national security state. That's all very good. Okay, so right now, let me just say, while I do not think it is smart to replace Mike Johnson, because who is going to replace him, right? Well, newsflash, if someone did replace Mike Johnson, it would not be the person of your choice. It would either be an even bigger rhino because the rhinos would choose him, or heck, it might be Hakeem Jeffries by some type of compromise vote. That's certainly not what we want. So that said, right, we're not going to replace Mike Johnson. However, it doesn't mean we cannot try to push Mike Johnson to be just a little bit better than he's been for the past 2 years. And so we'll see what happens on this front, guys, but just wanted to report that right here. Again, Mike Johnson is not receiving the votes he currently has. It would seem at the current moment, it's kind of a leveraging thing. It's a negotiation. That's good. Okay, I think that's a good thing. Unlike the Democrat Party, I have no issues with us going back and forth, disagreeing with our own leadership, etc. It's very good. It's very healthy. But with that said, okay, my hope is Johnson manages to make a deal with the more conservative members of Congress, and we just move forward with him and get this over with. Because again, as much as you, or even Donald Trump may want to see a new speaker, it is what it is. Who are you going to get? How are you going to get those votes? The House majority is like literally this big, okay? And it's clear, as we saw from the last time when we replaced McCarthy, we do not have the votes for someone who's super uber conservative or MAGA or whatever. So take Mike Johnson for now, but let's try to push him to be better. And my hope is just that, hey, if he was such a nice guy to Joe Biden and just to let Biden have so much stuff that he wanted, then let's hope with the trifecta, it's the same case with Trump. Okay, if he's going to be nice to Biden, at least hopefully he's a yes man for Donald Trump as well. And we can just basically get them out of the way and just, enact the Trump agenda. So we'll see, okay? But again, people might be mad. I don't think it is smart politics to replace Mike Johnson. I explain why. People are still going to get mad in the comments, but it's just the truth, okay? Anyone telling you otherwise that we have the votes for some super conservative speaker? No, we don't, all right? I don't like it. You don't like it, but that's reality. So let's work with what we have. Let's work with the chess pieces on the board and not like the ideal fantasy land that we wish we lived in. And by the way, let's also focus in 2026, primary a lot of the rhinos. And then if you get serious about doing that, maybe next time we can have a better speaker. With that said, though, guys, let me know your thoughts on this whole drama in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new. And until next time, God bless and peace.